Just like we could get informations from a function, we can give informations to a function. In the previous video, we created a function that returns the sum of array items. But now we have a problem. Our function is not dynamic. Our function works just with this array. What if we had a second array? And we also want from our function to return the sum of its items. Are we going to create another function and refer inside of it to the second array? Well, technically you can do it, but it is not the perfect solution. You have a better one. You can give to a function arguments. So let's do it on this function. Here, after the name of the function, I will say that this function has a parameter. Let's call it array. Then we will do the work on this parameter. So here, let's change this to this parameter. And now, whenever we call this function, we have to give it an argument. So here we will call it with the first array, and here we will call it with the second array. Let's console log and see if it is working properly. And great, we first have the result for the first array, then we have the result for the second array. So let's explain how it works. When we first called this function with the argument array1, this parameter in this function will have the value of the array 1, and the function gets executed as if we had used array 1 here. And when we call the function with the argument array2, this parameter in this function will have the value of the array 2, and the function gets executed as if we had used array 2 here. I know, at first it may be confusing. So let's see another example. Here I will start off with a new JavaScript file. Then I will create a function called add5 that accepts a parameter of number. Then it returns that number plus 5. And now let's call this function with different arguments. When we call it with 5, well, it will return 10. When it is called with 5, the value of this parameter becomes 5, and your JavaScript function will be executed, and here it replaces each reference to this parameter with 5. So here 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. That's why we have 10. If we call it with 10 plus 5, well, it returns 15. If we call it with 20, it will return 25.